My experience as a full-time officer is one that I'm never going to forget. Being a full-time officer is never something that I'd considered as a student. You know, I'd never thought that I would get elected and I would be sitting here 2 years on, and it's definitely an experience that will last with me for the rest of my life. When I first started as a full-time officer, I changed the disability registration process for students, and what this meant was that when students disclosed if they had a disability, they would know what they were signing up for, which was really important. I also did a lot of work around student carers. I assisted in developing the policy, and I also met with our local MSP. I worked a lot with Carers Trust Scotland, and I put on a hustings event as well for our student carers. I was part of the tendering process for our new catering company, and I was a part of that from start to finish, so hopefully we'll see some more improvements on campus with that as well. And in my first year I was down in Westminster, and I fought for an increase in student nursing bursaries. I'm trying to think of more, but a lot can happen in 2 years, but I'd like to think that the achievements I've made have impacted positively on students at GCU. I've had so many top moments as a full-time officer, but some of them are achieving the NUS Scotland Diversity Award for my work on student carers, achieving the highest ever Green Impact Award, so we achieved Excellent last year, and that's the highest environmental award that we've ever worked towards and achieved. Another one is taking part in the 100 Santa Sacks Challenge. So this is a challenge that I led, and we raised over 1,000 items of food and toiletries to go out to the elderly in our local community. We went head to head with Glasgow University and we won, so that was a really good moment. And of course going to the Ashoka U conference in Miami, that was a good moment, and going to the One Young World conference in Thailand. So a lot of top moments as a full-time officer. I can honestly say as a full-time officer I've not actually had any bad moments, but probably the worst moment for me was when I first started and I had all these ideas, sat down on my first day and had absolutely no idea what I was supposed to be doing, but I would say that I've salvaged it eventually. I'm one of these people that embarrassing moments happen to quite a lot, but some of my top embarrassing moments, first of all, was just the Big Ball 2015. Just overall as a ball, it was just embarrassing for me from the very beginning. First of all, I thought our activities manager, who's called Gordon, was called David, and the whole night I kept going up to him and being like, "Hi David, how are you?" And he just looked really confused that this new person into the organisation didn't know what his name was. I'd been elected at this point, but I hadn't started just yet either, so I was at the top table. And I was sitting next to this person just drinking a lot of wine. I'd handed him a dissertation that day and I got kind of drunk and this person turned out to be the Deputy Vice Chancellor, and I have never lived it down or never been able to live it down because I just don't know what I was saying. I know it was a lot of nonsense. Another embarrassing moment was on my training in Aviemore my first year, and we went white water rafting, and I fell off my dinghy and I thought I was going to die, and I ended up with my new team in front of them just breaking down into tears, and it was just a horrendous experience, but looking back now I'm just absolutely mortified. As I said at the start, I never thought I would be a full-time officer, and now I've been elected at NUS Scotland as their Vice President of Education, so it's just I just can't believe how I've gone in the past couple of years from having no idea about representation or about, you know, anything to do in the student movement to being a vice president for a national organisation. What I've learned here, my experience here, I'm going to take on to NUS Scotland to represent students and apprentices nationally, and I honestly can't wait, but I will never ever forget my experience at GCU Students Association.